used to think I'd be a magazine cover. They keep on trying to find new ways to push my buttons. I came out of the jungle where it rained and it thundered, but I bring the heat like the summer. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right.
My, oh my, Ajayi. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Jay Ajayi, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Few better places in the country weather-wise this time of year than this one right here, Tampa, Florida, at beautiful Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, what a move. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. He finds his target, Fuller. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Well, look now at our starting defense. They sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better. Because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
That's caught by his tight end, Jordan Akins. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Call it a gain of a couple. The defense stiffening here. It's 3rd and goal. This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. And he will have a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working out of the gun, Winston. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run with a former Eagle and Dolphin, Jay Ajayi. 7 yards there and a first down. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 12 carries, 116 yards, and a trip to the end zone.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
Throwing, Winston. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans, they're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. A dump underneath to Jones. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. A give, the first man through, Gillespie of the fullback. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 96 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession as the season winds down and you look at them in totality. You know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Jameis now on first down. Got a man, it's Brashad Perriman. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Winston now to throw on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Whitney merciless in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He gets away from 1. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go!
Hard to believe, but the regular season's starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson eluding the pressure right. The catch made by Hopkins. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Johnson jostles free and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Hyde a 1st down and more. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Let's go, baby.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to the ground, this time with Jones.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here's Ajayi. Ajayi, a first down and more. That good for 22 and a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Looking downfield. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they top 30. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a gain of 34. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Watson on first down. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Again, it's Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after this. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Shaquille Barrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Going deep for Hopkins, and that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Jaguars who are out in front. A touchdown run there for Leonard Fournette. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado. Check in on the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Torrey Smith, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And that one all even as they play the visiting Carolina Panthers. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They go to Johnson again. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watson on third down. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Winston. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 44 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Ajayi. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut in now to that deficit.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. They run it again with Hyde. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Holding offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
I'm coming after you. Check, check. Lucky. Where we go?
They run with Ajayi. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
He's got Evans. And they do get him out of bounds finally, but the damage is done. A big hitter on what proves to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Winston now. This one complete to Scott Miller. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Let's go.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Ajayi. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jay Ajayi hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's Johnson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll try the air now with Watson. It's complete to Hopkins.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. On the ground, this is Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminating touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Here's Winston. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Jameis now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Winston now finding Godwin, complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down. Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Back to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Open man is Howard, the tight end. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And again this time to the tailback. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Jay Ajayi with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run by Jay Ajayi. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Good coverage that time by Sean Bunting. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Back to throw. Now in desperation. That's caught inside the 20. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This to almost certainly win the football game. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Man, it is a cruel game sometimes, as evidenced by that kick right there.
Yeah, this game has no remorse at times, does it? I have a feeling that when this left his foot, he thought he'd given his guys the lead. But that ball just kept moving on him. And in the end, you heard the sound, and he's denied by the goalposts.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Ready.
great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles, and really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Buccaneers, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, this was basically just an exhibition game for...
Yeah. One up and up is